All right. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Talk That Sport. It's me again, Jordan Jones. CJ's here in the passenger seat with me. And we have
Passenger, I'm driving this mother gun. All
okay,
right.
CJ's driving it.
I didn't say the F word.
Okay, thank you. We have a very special guest today, Zach Wolchuck with 105.3 The Fan, the nosebleed seats. Say what's up to the people.
What up? What up? How are y'all doing? So I guess no swearing. I figured that out pretty quick.
No. Let's swear.
Okay.
There's always swear. So okay, so this is what happens. All right. So I have this bad compulsive order to say the F word a lot. They normally come out in spurts. We have a Troy interview that I said 12 F bombs, 7 motherfuckers. Oh, I said it, and and 12 shits in a 4-minute period. So I have a foul mouth sometimes. So the running joke is like 1 week I missed saying F bomb, and then I was like, oh, that's worked. I can do it. And then I went off on F bombs again the next week. Then our last show Wednesday didn't say one F bomb. So I'm like, all right, I'm getting better at this shit.
All right.
But no, you can go. Feel free to let them loose.
Okay, it's always good to just kind of double check. Hey,
we always put explicit for our grandmother on.
Yeah.
And that we got to keep it clean for grandma always.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead, CJ.
No, you go with it.
Well, I was just gonna say, thank you for coming on. We're very excited to have you. We are Tolos. I've listened to you guys. I love your show, honestly. It's very funny, and y'all fill in very nicely, replacing KNC moving to the afternoons.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm trying to remember this correctly. So y'all were on the weekends, correct?
Yeah.
Before, okay, y'all were like weekend afternoons right before Rangers.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because so I used to have, when I was living in the DFW, because I moved to Abilene now. I used to do this internship on the weekends, and I always drove like an hour every day, or not every day, but every Saturday. And so I would turn y'all on every time the ride back, and y'all were just hilarious. Like, I loved you guys.
Man, I appreciate it. You know, it's they've split Eric and I up a lot. You know, there was a period where I would be hosting with, let's say it's Sterling or Kevin or Chris or whoever it was, and then Eric would be doing the other show. So whenever we got to be able to be together on the weekend, it was awesome. I mean, that was always our goal, is to try and translate Nosebleed Seats, which started off as a podcast in North Texas, just having fun, and then that was always our goal. Can we find a way to translate this to 105.3 The Fan, and so far so good. We're trying to lock this thing in.
Yeah, no, I think y'all complement each other very well. Also, I'm a fellow UNT alum.
That's what I'm talking about.
I was just about to ask, were you a UNT alum too? Like, oh god, this streak just
I mean, hey, North Texas, we're pumping it out. We're kind of the industry, we really.
I was like all over sports media, like it really is like great. I know they. Well, I don't know if they built a new radio RTV building, but I know that they're just really pushing that program now at UNT. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, the Media Arts program there is fantastic. I did stuff with KNTU, mostly the radio department. But my last year there, I did stuff with NTTV, the TV side. That's actually how Eric and I met. We hosted a show together called Sports Zone. And the first time I came across him, I was like, who is this douche? And he came up to me and was like, dude, I'd love to kind of like look into starting a podcast or something. And I said, I actually have a podcast called The Nosebleed Seats, and I do it by myself. And I have like all my grandma and mom that listen. If you want, maybe we can merge this together. So we went and we got some tacos. Everything, happens over tacos. Let's be real.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Best way to
have
a conversation.
We had some tacos together. We ended up filming and recording some episodes, and the rest is history. It's crazy how stuff like that works out. So really, we have Sports Zone at NTTV to thank for us coming together. Now we're buddies.
Nice. Yeah. Real question: where were the tacos from?
Ooh, okay. El Pariente, which now is closed, but El Pariente was a taco spot in Denton that was connected to a gas station. So what you do is like you go and get your Mexican Coke or whatever you want to get from the gas station. While you're checking out, you're like, yeah, can I get 3 El Pastor corn or flour or whatever you want? And then you just wait. They bring it to you, and they were delicious. Eric is the one who knew about this hole in the wall, so he takes me there. And yeah, my last semester there at North Texas, I probably put on about 10 pounds. And I'm always a fat guy. All right, I'm not.
Don't worry, we're here.
Yeah, man. Hey, big people. Let's do it.
Now, is that the one off of what's that street? Bonnie Bray?
Yes, Bonnie Bray.
Okay, I know exactly where that is.
Yes,
okay, yeah, I lived right by it. Yes.
You know who doesn't know where this is? This guy, because my brother never took me anywhere and fucking didn't. Like, no, ever. Like, he went to school there 4 years. Never took me in.
I drove brotherly duty? No Frog Street?
No, nothing.
Okay.
At all.
I invited him out. He never came out. He didn't want to drive.
He's full of shit. He's full of shit. Let me fucking no, Jordan. Do you remember the 21st birthday story? We're taking this interview over. I'm sorry.
Okay.
The 21st birthday. So I am a great big brother, right? I'm like, all right, nigga, whatever you want to do, whatever, just tell me. I gotta take you on your 21st birthday. He's a part of the fraternity. He said, well, my brothers are gonna take me out. I said, I'm your actual fucking brother. Your blood brother. I will pay anything. He's like, no. So I said, all right, fuck it. I'm not gonna take you out nowhere. That was the only time he invited me to fucking Denton. Other than that, I've never been invited up there.
Come on, man. Hey, I'll tell you what. We'll go out to Denton and we'll show you the ropes. It'll be
there.
fun.
We go. That's just
we got a date. We're gonna go party in Denton.
I just want some fucking just one night. All right, I'm married now. I don't have no fun no more.
We got them. Get drunk at $5. It'll be fun.
All right. Okay. So I have a question because like I don't get to listen to the late show as much as possible.
Yeah.
Now, are y'all still doing a no shirt at 9 o'clock, or y'all doing the whole no shirt thing?
So, KNC, clearly they've branded the No Shirt 9.
It's No Shirt 9.
So it's kind of weird because we started having, without baseball for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Jared has always loved our show, and we're really good friends at the station with Jared. So he's like, I just had an idea. Actually, I was pretty hammered one Saturday afternoon, and I think Jared was hosting with Sterling, and I'm thinking, what are some ways that we can, keep adding some regular segments that like fans can look forward to? Because we have like Around the Rim at 9:20. I do the top 10 list at 10, at 10 o'clock. But it's always good to kind of have those branded segments that people know, like, hey, I'm getting in my car at 9:20 or whatever it is. I know what's going to be on. So I'm thinking, all right, Jared, let's get you on for a nightly segment. We'll call it He Does Just Hanging. So total nosebleed seats. We'll do just banging.
Yeah.
And one thing led to another. I think the first time we had Jared on, we were doing the Zoom stuff still, where we were all separated from each other. It was just me in studio, and then Jared and Eric would be, at their homes. So Jared pops on and his shirt's off. So I'm thinking, you know what? You're not going to be the only one. I rip my shirt off. Eric's always looking for an opportunity. His shirt flies off. 0 shirts off. So it's become a bit now. 8:40. I look up at the clock. Shirts are off, and it's time for this. Boom. Let's do Just Banging with Jared Sandler. And shout out to Zero. If you haven't heard the intro for that segment, I think it might be the best intro at the Fan. It's absolutely amazing.
Oh man. I'm excited about it because like when Jordan was telling me about it, I was like, I thought it was KNC. He's like, no, they do it. I'm like, really? Yeah. I was like, I gotta start listening to night shows again. Like I've listened to y'all a couple times, so I'm like coming back from Mississippi and I drive back in Texas. Like at a certain time, like, okay, I can listen to 105.3, but normally I'm in bed by like 10 o'clock now.
Hey, so, I don't that's why we have the radio.com rewind. You can always
exactly. There we go. Drops. I love that.
Yes.
See, I normally don't listen to the radio at night. I did it a lot, like when I was in college and stuff. So I used to listen to KNC when they were in the night show. And then when they moved daytime, I wasn't going to listen to the night show, but I think I was like doing something late and I just turned on the Fan and I found out that y'all were the ones that took over the night shift. And I was like, oh, I got to listen to this show. Yeah. So now
like change. When we first took over, the Fan text was not loving it, right? Like it didn't matter if we were good or not. It was just kind of like the new show. This isn't KNC. Screw you, right? And then over time, I can't tell you how many texts we've gotten that said, man, screw you guys. I really didn't want to like you. I really didn't want to listen, but you guys have kind of won me over. So that's what it's all about. We're kind of invading. That's the beautiful thing about radio is people get in a routine and you kind of become a part of their daily life. And when that's interrupted, people are frustrated by it and irritated by it. And I was in school before I even started working at the Fan, so I understand it. All of a sudden my routine's shaking up. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Who is this new show that's in territory? This is ridiculous. So, the fact that we've been able to do a good enough job where people that didn't like us are now kind of swayed to say, you know what, screw it. I kind of like those guys.
Yeah.
That's all we can ask for, man. Just give us a chance.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
So how are you liking the transition to nighttime now?
I love it, man. I do. And I think the best time slot is actually where KNC are at 10 to 2. Because look, you're there maybe at 8 o'clock for prep and you're out by 2:30 at the latest.
Yeah.
You have to stay and do stuff. So that's the ideal time. But I do love the night show because I'm able to sit there and just kind of soak in everything that's happened throughout the day, get our show ready to go, and then we take over and, we've got a whole day's worth of headlines. So it's a lot of fun. I mean, obviously, we love the Rangers. We're the home of the Rangers. So during baseball season, it affects our show. I mean, there's no denying that. I'm not, not saying anything negative to that. That's absolutely fine. But, that's the only thing that's difficult, working around that. But heck, as the home of the Rangers, it's come to be expected. And then we get all football season, which is our time to shine. Eric and I are football guys anyway. So it's a lot of fun, dude. I enjoyed it. When we filled in for Sean and RJ, I got a new appreciation for what it's like to do.
The 3 a.m. wake up.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if the rest of the listeners picked it up, but my parents, who have heard me doing this my whole life, my mom's my biggest supporter, biggest fan, and they were listening. After we filled in for those 2 shows, they're like, you sound like a completely different human being when you're on in the morning. Right? You're all excited. You got all this energy. In the AM, you're like, just kind of going through the motions. So I'm like, well, shit, I hope the listeners didn't pick up on that. I know Mom and Dad will, but hopefully it didn't sound bad. But I didn't hear any negative back from it, so I think it's okay. But I do enjoy the nighttime slot. I think it's fun, and we can get away with a
lot of shit.
Yeah. That 10 o'clock hour. And Eric and I like to push the envelope. Yeah. Ideally, if we were on Sirius XM and we had no boundaries, look out. God, get into, man. So the FCC kind of reins us in a little bit. But, we have a lot of fun, dude. I enjoy it.
And that time slot has been very good for all the people that have been in it. Like,
Absolutely.
You look at the shows, you had G-Bag in there originally. Because that's how I found G-Bag. Then KNC switched, and I'm like, what the is you guys here for? And then now you, and now like KSC too, and I'm like, okay, now you guys there, so I'm like, all right, they're gonna move up again. I'm gonna get mad at whoever's in the night slot, but I'm like, all right, cool, it's whatever. It's a great slot to have, and like the best part of the time is like when I'm drunk leaving the bar. Like I used to work bartend, so like I would drink from I don't get off work at 8 o'clock, be nice and a little buzzed, and I would get in the passenger seat of my car and not drive. Because no drunk driving, guys. Yeah. And I would turn on to 7 o'clock, and it was like, all right, I can laugh my ass off all the way home. It's all good. So
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah. So how's so you like doing the Rangers pregame? Right, pregame right now.
Woo, okay, so let me peel back the curtains for you.
I love that.
I got the call last year because originally, Parker Hillis was doing it, producer for KNC. Parker gets the big boy call to go be an assistant program director in Colorado. Yeah. Shocked to us all. So 3 a.m. it actually, I don't know how this happens, but, my boss had texted me the previous night or earlier in the afternoon, was like, hey, I'd like to talk to you. Give me a call when you can. At the time, again, I was hammered. So I'm like, I'm not going to talk to him now. Not the best time. So my phone dies. I charge it. I pick it up. I wake up at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. to go to the bathroom. And I have another text from him that came in like half an hour ago. Like, oh, you're just not going to call me back, huh? So I texted him, so sorry, my phone died. I'll give you a call in the morning. So he said, why don't we just chat now? So I find out at 3 a.m. on like a Sunday morning, hey, we want you to fill in and do Rangers screenplay. I'm like, oh my God. That is a job. Jared makes it look so easy, but guys, you know how challenging it actually is. And it took me a while to get comfortable, but now that I've gotten in the groove, it's a blast. I mean, Eric Nadel, Matt Hicks, Jared especially, some of the best dudes you could ever be around. I mean, Jared's helped me so much throughout the process. And I'll be frank, baseball's not my favorite sport. It's always been a sport I've enjoyed. And certainly, during that time when the Rangers were making World Series runs, it took over DFW, and, Dallas Fort Worth as a fan base, we jump on with our winning teams. People that don't watch Rangers baseball, they were watching then. It's like an event, everybody comes out for it. So, obviously I fell in love with those teams from like 2010 to 2014, but we were having some challenging years. And while I'm always clued into the Cowboys, I wasn't necessarily always as clued in with the Rangers. I followed what was going on, but I'm not like, watching every single pitch. Like I would be watching every single snap of a Cowboys game necessarily. So I made sure to really be, way more focused in, because the thing for me is I'm not trying to ever fake it. I don't want to get on air and be hosting, extra innings on Rangers Post, and I have people asking me questions, and I don't have, the answers for you, know, and I'm not trying to, be blowing smoke up people's ass. I want to be genuine. I want to be real. I want to be informed and educated in what I'm talking about, because when you get that kind of platform, there's so many people that would love to be where you are. I want to make sure I do the best job that I possibly can. So as soon as they let me know, hey, we want you to do this, I welcome the challenge. I can't say, I'm super comfortable. Obviously, my football knowledge, I'll go up against anybody. Baseball, I had some self-doubt. I really did. And even to this day, I have a little bit of self-doubt, because when you're around Jared's just spitting off, stats of an entire lineup from like 20 years ago. I'm like, dude, where are you pulling it from? Unbelievable. So, I had to realize, hey, I'm not Jared. I'm me.
Yeah.
So, I had to do it in my own way. But I think, I've done the best that I can. The reviews and the feedback have been pretty good. So I'm really enjoying it. I love anytime I get that opportunity, and I don't take it lightly at all, because it's a big platform.
Yeah. Well, I'll say you fill in pretty nicely. Like, I honestly wouldn't even know that baseball wasn't a passion, like a, diehard passion of yours. You fit in very well. I love hearing you and Jared Sandler talk. I want to know, though, what it's like, working with, the great Eric Nadel and Matt Hicks, who have just been staples of
Legends.
the DFW community, like on the radio. Like, what's that like working with them, especially like, since they are, here for the Rangers and like for the lone call.
Yeah, they're both awesome. Matt, both of them are great, real chill, super cool dudes behind the scenes. It was funny because last year, so fortunately, usually Jared's there when I'm filling in. So it's either like Eric's out or Matt's out. There's only a handful of times where like Jared actually takes off. It's usually for a wedding. But given with COVID, he's not going to the wedding. This guy goes to more weddings than anybody I've ever met. I don't know. He's got so many friends. It's ridiculous. But Matt and Eric, first off, Eric loves his music. Matt also does, but Matt's way more picky. So the story behind, whenever I'm in and it's like Jared, me, and Matt, Jared's always playing music during pregame as they're like prepping for their notes and everything. And I'm just getting ready to, do my pregame stuff as well. And last year we started playing Lil Dicky.
Good artist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Lil Dicky, you kidding me? So Matt's never heard of Lil Dicky, right? And Matt's very old school. Like, he doesn't know who the hell Lil Dicky is. Like, Matt's still living in the 70s when it comes to music. So he loves the Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's his favorite band ever, which is fantastic. I love Earth, Wind, and Fire as well. I'm not going to knock that, but that's just kind of the genre if you want to get a feel for what Matt likes. So Jared fires off "We Love the Earth," from Lil Dicky.
Yeah.
Matt became obsessed with it. And then when Eric came back, Matt's like, "You got to play the song for Eric." So they play the song for Eric. Eric loves it too. So it was just funny, seeing them and their reaction to just stuff like that. But they're just regular people, man. Their attention to detail is superb. The one thing I love about Eric is, and Jared, actually all three of them, they've made me a lot better at interviewing and asking questions. They're sticklers for that. They're sticklers for wording, phrasing. Yeah. They're going to get on to people for asking bad questions. And that's why, there was one night Jared kind of big dicked me a little bit. It was after first extra innings game against the Padres, and Manny Machado hits the walk-off grand slam. And it kind of stinks because, like, I'm always jotting down, like, question ideas for the roundtable. So I put on there, like, how did you enjoy extra innings? It was our first extra innings game. So without even thinking about it, I just, like, read it, right off the questions that I typed up. I was like, okay, we get in there. First extra innings game of the season. How'd you guys enjoy it? Dead air pause. Jared just goes, I didn't enjoy it. I don't really like getting walked off on via grand slam and extra innings. Why the hell did you ask me that? Of course I didn't enjoy it. Our team just lost, you schmuck. And Eric's just laughing, and I felt like the biggest idiot ever. But learning experience,
Yeah.
Now I know, hey, that's not the best way to phrase that question, Of course we didn't enjoy it. Our team just lost in Grand Slam form. So, it's just stuff like that. They make you a better broadcaster. But behind the scenes, they're a hoot, man. I mean, they're a great time. They're willing to joke around. They love baseball. I mean, Eric, the stories from both Eric and Matt, they're great storytellers. And listening to them talk about, especially Matt, his time on the East Coast, growing up in Maryland, and driving to Oriole games, and what it was like when he was in college at Maryland, and some of his experiences. You're just able to absorb so much knowledge from those guys. It's really, really a treasure to be able to broadcast with them.
That's pretty cool. And like just with the Jared take, when Jared gets, my favorite parts of the Ranger post game is when Jared gets ticked off by a caller. When somebody calls and says I'm stupid, like, does he have a little vein that pops out his neck? Because I have Jared. You seen that meme of that kid like this? That's how I envision Jared being when somebody asks him a stupid question on Ranger post game. Because he just gives no fucks. He's just like,
no. And Jared, I think some of it is like he was excited to have Eric and I for extra innings as well, because we're able to kind of bring out the lighter side of Jared a little bit. Some people don't always get to see, but Jared's super passionate, man.
Yeah.
Jared's like how I am with the Cowboys. It's like, I can talk lead, but don't you dare say anything, because I'm coming to the jugular. And so somebody says something about the Rangers that Jared doesn't like, he's going to tell you like it is, man. You got to respect that about him.
Yeah, I do. That's one of my favorite things. That's one of my favorite things. And then one more question about the pre and post. Eric, I know he's a big music guy, especially a big local music guy. Has he been putting you down? Like, I listened to Nora Jones just because Eric Nagdale. I listened to his pregame show a couple years ago. He's like, you gotta listen to Nora Jones. You gotta listen to her now. She's on my phone all the time. So, like, has he put you on game with some good local music?
Okay, so I haven't actually gotten the opportunity to have that kind of one-on-one time with Eric since last year, really.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't go out to the ballpark this year with COVID, and because COVID hit the booth, they basically said, hey, let's keep you in the studio, try and limit the contact. So the last time I really got to do, anything with Eric in person was probably back in February when we were out at Rangers Live or Texas Live doing the Rangers Caravan and that kind of stuff at Miller Tavern. So, but yes, I mean, Eric is one where he'll say like, hey, Jared, play this. But I don't have anybody like right now that I can spit out and say, yes, here's a band that Eric put me on. But certainly something where if you listen to his hits and he's on like 520 every Friday, he's going to throw something out there. Yesterday, I don't know if you guys heard, he threw out a band and Eric was on the board. She followed for a G-bag. And he accidentally hit the buzzer sounder. They just like incorrect answer. And it was like Eric's band that he just suggested sucks. Here goes. Nobody wants to listen to that shit, But no, most of the time, Eric suggests a band. It's pretty fire. Nora Jones, also, I believe, North Texas grad.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Well, since COVID's been raining on everybody's parade this year, we thought that it was going to shut down college football, but somehow they are powering through. So college football is actually kicking off today. With Arkansas.
Yeah. Central Arkansas versus Austin Peay.
Why are we not at a tailgate? This is ridiculous.
I know, right? I was looking at, like, the other day, I was trying to look and see, okay, I was like, because, college football normally kicks off this weekend. You have the Thursday game and everything. And I was looking, I was like, oh, yeah, there's no games this weekend. And then, like, I saw a post on Instagram. They were like, who you're going for today, Central Arkansas or Austin Peay? And I was like, I didn't even know they were playing.
Like last night, Texas football gets going.
Yeah,
it's the smaller schools. It's like Savannah and Melissa and Argyle versus Decatur, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So a lot of people, it went under the radar. When you have your big, power schools, nobody's really going to pay as much attention. But it is weird, and that's something that I wanted to bring up with you guys as well.
Yeah,
we should be kicking off college football. This should be the weekend, like, to get our football season underway right now. We're kind of getting ready for the NFL. We kick off the weekend. You get your badass opening games. We would have had like Oregon and North Dakota State. Some Trey Lance versus Oregon, which would have been a top team. The Chick-fil-A kickoff game's always a fun one. The Cowboys AT&T Classics usually is up, and it is kind of bitter. Well, there's really no sweetness in this at all. It's very bitter.
Yeah,
we don't have any big time college football to look forward to. No offense to Austin P. I mean, I'm definitely that out, no doubt. I mean, let's go Austin P.
I know it's going to be on ESPN, so I mean,
heck yeah, if there's football on, my ass is watching.
If anything to see somebody's face get crushed in, I'm good. I'm good. I don't think he's playing.
And, I feel bad because a couple weeks ago I was on the show saying, how I don't think college football should be going on this season, and I really do believe that. But I mean, it's happening. Nothing I can do to stop it. So I'm still gonna watch it and enjoy it. I guess.
No, I mean it's true though. I don't know. It's very weird waters you're in with college football. Like you can understand professionals that are getting paid to do this. It's their job. But the student athlete, right? The student comes before athlete. If you're not on campus going to school, it is very weird how you're going to be on campus practicing to play football. That's okay, right? And we're not going to pay you to do this either. We're going to reap the billions of dollars for everything out there, but you get no benefit of this. Go ahead and do your class online. Don't leave your dorm room, but get your ass ready to play football this coming September. It is super bizarre. As a fan, though, do everything you can to get on the field.
Exactly.
I want to see you play, man. I want to see
Yeah. What I've noticed with the games is it's very interesting because all the smaller schools are playing like right now. So you have, like I said, small game this weekend, but even next weekend, it's a lot of the smaller schools that are playing. All the big schools are like, let's see how these guys do first, and then we'll play. I don't know if that's actually how it lined up, but that's what it's looking like. And I mean, I don't blame them because but it's just very interesting to me because I know that these schools rely on that money and they expect to have, football makes up so much of a university's budget each year, but it's just crazy to me that you send these athletes out. As a fan, I mean, UNT starts next week, and I'm very excited to watch them play. I want to see who their starting quarterback's going to be to replace Mason Fine, but I'm also like, I went to college with these guys. A lot of these guys, I don't want to, I know that, they have dreams, and a lot of these guys, it ends after college football. They don't have the NFL to go to. So it's just like they do everything for these schools. They're not getting paid, and now you're talking about risking their health and safety and the safety of other students on that campus as well to go out and play football. And it's an interesting time we're living in, definitely.
There's no doubt. And, the other thing is the communities and how they're affected. It's something that I think there was a report that, Tuscaloosa would lose $1 billion based on the revenue that they would receive just from Alabama football season. When you talk about hosting home games and, the away fans, whether it's, the other teams within the conference or let's say they play a team out of conference, and it's one of those special games where teams, they're able to make a ton of money. So for the restaurants, the bars, the hotels, they're also taking a massive hit. College football is just huge, and the whole paying the players is certainly a different conversation that I think most people with a brain would say, like, yeah, they need to be getting something out of this. When you're making so much money, you've got to give the players, especially in a situation like this with everything you just said. You're basically risking your own health and you're risking the health of others by going out there to do this. But there is a lot more layers and domino effects that come with if you don't have college football, other people's livelihoods within the community are now affected by it as well. So it is, man, 2020, God bless, man. This has just been a hell of a year. It's a hell of a time in our country. And, we've all just got to take it individually to do our own part that we can. You know what I mean? So, shoot, it
sucks.
It does. I mean, hell, Chadwick Boseman just passed away yesterday.
Oh God!
He had cancer, bro. This is shit.
And it also it makes like the average American should really reevaluate the excuses that they use to get better in life and do things in life, because this dude did mega movies, like where he was gaining weight, getting in shape, staying active while battling stage 4 cancer. Like, I know personally, I didn't work out this week because I was busy with work. And so that made me personally reevaluate the way I approach life and the way I approach things, because you never know how much time you have, and the impact that he was able to make, knowing that he probably wasn't going to be on this earth for a long period of time. That's just it's very.
Yeah, and the guy that got to acting very late in life. I mean, he's only acted 7 years, so that's the crazy part about it. But it reminded me a lot of like when Kobe passed away, because like I was at a restaurant for our grandmother's birthday, and the lady came out the kitchen and was like, "Kobe just died," and so I was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Everybody's on the phone. We're at Boomer Jack's last night, having a couple drinks, and then some lady at the end of the bar goes, "T'Challa just died!" And she's like yelling it, screaming. I'm like, "T'Challa didn't die. What are you talking about? Got a cousin named."
I saw the movie too. What the hell?
Yeah, I said, I watched that movie. He came. He didn't die. He came back. Revived him. Then we all look at our phone like, "Damn! Oh God, colon cancer."
Yeah.
Man, make sure you get checked, guys.
Definitely.
No kidding.
Thing.
No kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, that hurt me. I was like, "Dang, 2020, like somebody please find Betty White and put her in the bubble."
Oh, dude.
I can't. If she goes this year, like make it 2020, January 1st, 2021, it'll be okay.
Nobody's safe. Betty goes, bro.
Oh, yeah.
She's coming.
Stay kicking. Yeah. Go ahead.
So how excited are you for the football season? I mean, the Cowboys football season.
Oh, dude. How excited am I?
Yeah, like I mean, me and Jordan have already on the show expressed like Jordan got in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
I'm probably agreeing with him, not on the record wise, but we're both really excited about this team, especially if Jerry Jones gets off his ass and just signs Earl Thomas. Damn it, get the motherfucker in the building. But we're amped. So, like, how are you feeling about the season going forward?
Yeah, I have a problem to where I call it. I've got the Blue Star flu, and it's so true. By the end of last year, I'm able to see it as a realistic Cowboy fan, and I'm like, this team's just not good enough. What the hell? We're overrating our own talent. Jalen's not even that good. Our corners can't cover anybody. Xavier Woods is the most overhyped safety in football. What the hell? Michael Gallup, this number one receiver talk. Did you see him against the Jets? You need him to step up. How the hell is he a number one wide? He's good, but let's stop overrating our own. All right, Connor Williams as a starting left guard, he should be playing tackle. What the hell are we doing? Putting him at guard. Was Joe Looney that good 2 years ago at center? I saw him get pushed around. Now he's our starting center. What? Doing? Why did we have Jason Garrett here for 10 years? It's the same old crap. 3rd and 3. Let's run Zeke right up the center's ass. Have him pick up 2 yards. One punt. Go out there. Punt, guys, for fun. But now it's training camp and it's a new year.
It's back.
We got CD Lamb, baby, and we got Stephon Diggs, and we got my guy Bradley and I from Utah. And you bring in Alden Smith and Everson Griffin, and I'm like, Super Bowl. It's here we go. But seriously, I do think a lot of the changes, and I've had a lot of disagreements with Eric about this on our show. Mm-hmm. Eric is a lot more, I don't know if pessimistic's the right word, but he's a little bit more let's wait and see. And he probably is a little bit more of the, he's able to separate his fandom. Whereas I cannot do that all the time, especially this time of year where it's like the start of the season. But there's a lot to like about the Cowboys team. And when you look at the NFC East, the Washington's not very good.
No.
The Giants, I don't think are going to be very good. And then with the Eagles, the injuries are weighing on them. And you look at their receiving core, they're not scaring me. I love Jalen Reagor, but he's a rookie. And to be honest with you, evaluating the receivers in this draft, he's not a guy that was as polished as some of these other ones. He's going to need some time. Certainly the speed kills. And in the return game, I think he can help. And Carson Wentz can throw the deep ball. So I do think you'll see them hook up a couple times. But, when it comes to the route running and certain things like that, there is an adjustment period. And I think we have seen rookies entering the NFL have more success now than they ever have before. I mean, just look at both the Ole Miss kids last year, DK Metcalf and A.J. Brown. They were absolutely fantastic. Terry McLaurin was really good, as a rookie. So I do think now with the skill level and especially with the spread offense having taken over, the receivers are better equipped to have immediate success than they were even 5 years ago in the National Football League. But there's question marks now with the Eagles. Their offensive line's not very good anymore with the injuries. Carson Wentz is injury prone. So this division, assuming the Cowboys don't have injuries during the season as well, because you can't predict that, but the Cowboys are the best team in the East now. There's no doubt. So anything short of winning a division to me even though you're breaking in a new head coach and a new D coordinator and, a lot of new coaches within the staff, you have a lot of new pieces. We see turnover every year in the NFL now. Turnover to me is not an excuse anymore. And I get it's a shortened offseason. And if you had have brought in and hired a Lincoln Riley or somebody that was a first-year NFL coach or even, was a position coach that's now a head coach, I get having that as an excuse. Hey, you've got a whole new coaching staff. This guy's learning on the job. Let's temper expectations. We have a guy, Mike McCarthy, who did this for a decade, has won a Super Bowl, and also has coached in an offseason that he didn't have his normal OTAs.
Lockout.
The lockout in 2011. What did the Packers do that year? They went 15-1. They were the most dominant team in the NFL. So Mike McCarthy, while he had some continuity there, having been in Green Bay and coming off a Super Bowl, this isn't his first rodeo. And he filled this staff with experienced guys. Tom Sula, former head coach. Philby, former head coach. George Edwards has been a defensive coordinator in the league for many, 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 many years, right? Philbin as well. So there's a lot of guys. Mike Nolan, former head coach. There's a lot of guys with experience on the staff. And the Cowboys are an experienced team. Like, there ain't no honeymoon anymore. Dak, you're going into year 5. You're a veteran now. Zeke, you're a veteran. Amari Cooper, this receiving core outside of CeeDee Lamb, but CeeDee Lamb's expected to hit the ground running, and I think he will. I mean, everything we've heard from camp is he's dominating out there, and there's if you didn't know that he was a rookie, there would be no difference in watching Amari Cooper run a play versus CeeDee Lamb right now, right? So, I'm not expecting that kind of rookie production from CeeDee Lamb. I think he's going to come out and be fantastic. So with all of that in place, and I think the pass rush is going to be way better this year than in years past. You now have 3 dogs, man. And I've been on Aldon Smith from the moment that the Cowboys signed him. A lot of people have been apprehensive, which I get it. Dude doesn't play football for 4 years. It's tough to have those expectations. You can't teach a knack for getting to the quarterback. Aldon Smith just has a feel for the game. He's just got that intuitive play where, we applauded Sean Lee for it for years and years and years, where it was just instinctive. Aldon Smith has that ability to rush the passer, and you don't just lose that, right? So physically, I think Aldon Smith's where he wants to be, but mentally, I think that's what's always set him apart from some of the elite pass rushers in the game, and I think he's going to pick it up pretty quickly. I've said a minimum of 8 sacks this year. If he hits double digits, similar to what Robert Quinn did last year, I wouldn't be shocked. I'm really excited to see the pass rush get after it. And then the question will be the secondary right now. And that's something I haven't been able to see in person just yet. But apparently the corners are looking okay. The safety position, and you bring up Earl Thomas, that's the one where the Cowboys are going to need to figure that out. But I do think, at minimum, an NFC East title and hopefully a run into the postseason. We'll see what happens. But, again, barring health for this team, that's something, especially with COVID now, who knows how this is going to go, and who knows if they're even able to finish the season. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. This is certainly a bizarre year.
I was excited to see the staff they brought on. Like, I was really particular when they fired Garrett, thank God, after so many years of firing Garrett. I was happy I said, bro, when I saw Tom Sula come in, when I saw Mike Nolan come in, I was like, okay, they got – you wouldn't say like a superstar head coaching, but you got guys that were good at their jobs. So like the reason Mike Nolan got head job was he's good at his job. Tom Sula he should never have the coaching job in San Francisco, but he's really good at his job, especially getting them dogs going. So like I was really excited to see what the staff Mike McCarthy is. And then I like the coach Mike McCarthy was. I thought he had to deal with a difficult quarterback in Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. That ultimately you take the guy who's going to be there 20 years versus they did the anti-Brady and Belichick. So they were like, we're going to keep the quarterback, not the coach. So so I think, his message got ran down, but I think he's the perfect kind of coach for this team. He's the one I wanted. So I'm just like you. I got the blue flu. I'm like, let's go. At the end of the season last year, I remember cussing people out after the Eagles game, and then they're like, "Oh, you're gonna go blow the fucking Redskins out, but you can't blow the fucking Eagles out. You can't catch shit." Dak is a big year for Dak. Like that's my biggest thing. Like I want Dak to shut all the haters up. All right, like, and I think the only way to get that, I think he'll still catch a bunch of shit if he gets to the NFC Championship game and loses. But I'm like, he's held to a different standard. for crazy reasons. But I'm like, get there. Let's get there first, get paid, and then let's go win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So,
well, and I'm looking at it, and everybody says that Mike McCarthy's message got sour up in Green Bay. And one, I think that there was a lot of issues there in the front office to begin with. He wasn't getting the players that he wanted, and they weren't investing in their roster like they should have been. They were very much for, we'll just get, new players in the draft each year. And I think it was something crazy, like Green Bay for the past, it's been 10, 15 years has never drafted a receiver in the first round.
They haven't drafted skill players since Aaron Rodgers.
There you go, which just baffles me. So it's like, how are you expecting to win games if you're not going out and doing that? And even with that, he was still taking them. He went to the NFC Championship 4 times.
Sure.
Went to the Super Bowl and won, went to the Super Bowl twice. So it's just like, you look at his track record, and I'm very excited. Yes, it got kind of bad there the last couple of years, but they were, Aaron Rodgers was hurt a lot. They just didn't really have the roster to compete with the rest of the NFC those years. So I think being here in Dallas with a team that's already ready, I do believe that we have the roster capable to go out and win a lot of games. I think that Jason Garrett was just not the guy to get our team going. He's really good, as far as making connections with the players. I really do feel like they genuinely liked him. But I also think that they did not think that he was, the coach that had really the game plan that was going to get them to win games.
Sure.
And we saw it under these big games. And a lot of people look at the end of the season last year and saying Dallas imploded. But if you look at what happened, I think that they were just the players just got tired of it. I really do think that they just legitimately got tired of it.
I think they felt like they had a coach that didn't believe in them. Like you said, 4th and 1, and Zeke just ran the ball 2 yards. He's like the second best 1 yard getter in the NFL. He's camming in him.
Sure.
And Jason just never believed in Zeke enough to put it out. He was always risk averse. And some of these players, that's why I think that 2015 Carolina team was so good that Ron Rivera's like, fuck it, let's do it every time. He was like, I'm gonna keep gambling. If my defense is gonna get me out of it.
Uh-huh.
So and our defense was not horrendous last year. If you gave the ball up on the 40-yard line, I feel like it ain't holding to a field goal.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the message got tired with Jason, and it is time for them to get somebody new. And from what you've seen with these players so far, I watch a lot of the Dallas Cowboys tape. I know they put the Only the Good film up there on YouTube, but Jalen is looking like the Jalen Smith that I always wanted. All right, because Jalen Smith, I am the biggest Jalen Smith lover, but also the biggest Jaden Smith hater. I will get in his ass every week after this because I love Jay. I want to get him on the show. But this dude, I understand the first 2 years. All right, cool. Yeah, you get him back. But when he got right there, it was like, okay, cool. Then last year he gets paid. Then last year he can't do anything right. Can't read the run. Can't cover tight ends. He is missing tackles, and he's still doing his celebrations. We're down 15 points. I'm like, what the fuck, Jay? What the fuck? Calm down. But this year they look like they put him in a different spot. They look like he's really more comfortable, and he's moving better than I've ever seen him play. So this is the Hall of Famer. This is the gold jacket. This is the one I want him. That's what I said about when he got drafted. I was like, he's gonna wear a gold jacket. That guy's gonna wear. Well, I saw Jalen. History. I am a Longhorns fan, but I also root for Notre Dame. Because I root for Notre Dame because they were on NBC. We didn't have cable growing up, so we had the 12 channel package. So I watched Texas Longhorn channel 8, Notre Dame on channel 5. So I used to watch Notre Dame in Texas. So I root for both teams. So I've always rooted for Notre Dame. So when Jalen was there, Jalen was a dog, and he should have been number 4 overall pick. And I thought he was going to be that good of an NFL player. And I feel like he still has gold jacket potential. He just has a good 6-year stretch, and I think he's about to go into that good 6-year stretch.
Yeah, I'm with you in the position flex. I think that is good for him. The Hall of Fame bit, that is but look, I'm not going to knock it. Hell, people love Jalen Smith. I mean, you can even see by his Pro Bowl nods. He's a big name that people like. And certainly if he strings some positive years together, maybe the Cowboys can win a championship. Who knows? I mean, who the heck knows? The Hall of Fame is really, really weird. Sometimes it's a popularity contest. Sometimes it's all about the numbers and your resume. It just depends on who you are. But that's the difference. I think that's the key when you talk about Jalen Smith moving over now to instead of at middle linebacker where Van Der Esch is going to take over and he's now kind of taking over that weak side a little more, is this coaching staff, you can already tell, instead of let's plug these players into our system. They are molding their system around what do these players do well. And that's always my biggest issue with Garrett and his staff. It is, all right, we're not going to take TJ Watt because he doesn't fit what we want to do. I can't project him to be a good hand on the down. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's ridiculous. Don't even. I can't project TJ Watt to be a hand on the down player because he stood up at Wisconsin. God forbid we project somebody to do this. That's just how they were. And now you're looking at it where, all right, what Jalen doesn't look comfortable at middle linebacker. Let's put him here where he can be more downhill. Hopefully we've gotten some big boys, Dontari Poe up front, that can go ahead and eat up linemen to create space for him to just be able to react and make plays. And I think last year you saw Jalen Smith thinking too much. Because some of that might be because of being middle linebacker, making the play calls, making the checks, not having Leighton Vander Esch, which I think you can't – not only do you need to be a good football player, first and foremost, and have athletic ability, sure. But there's also something about, vibing and the energy and, kind of working off of your teammates on the field, playing with that kind of cohesiveness. And in 2018, there was something very special going on between Leighton Vander Esch and Jalen Smith.
Definitely.
It was almost like a telepathic, hey, we don't need to say it, but we know where we're going to be. We know what we want to do. We're diagnosing at the same time, and we're flying to the football. We're not thinking. I think you saw a lot of hero ball and way too much thinking last year with Jalen Smith. And it might have been because too much was on his plate, and now they're removing some of that. He also gets his buddy back in LVE who can take some of that responsibility, and now he's just able to be out there to freely play football. And hopefully we see the best version of Jalen Smith because of it.
Also, Jalen got to stop being so damn nice. All right, I don't know too many damn nice. So, dude hits somebody. It's like, man, you good?
Yeah.
Like, no, I've never met a nice linebacker. Right? And he's so damn nice. And I'm like,
so nice.
And I'm like, fuck, man, please just do something.
No, and that's why it's like
it's a personal foul.
It's hard to hate Jalen. He just where he jumps up on a pile, acts like he makes the tackle, and you're like, what are you doing, dude? We're down 21-0. All right, come on, bro. But it's still hard to hate him because he's got an award-winning smile, and he is such a great guy.
And he always post something positive after a loss. It's always something like he thought about it. I'm like, fuck this shit, Jay. We should have won. All right? I'm damn tired of this bullshit.
Don't make me feel good because of the loss.
I don't want to think about next week. Yeah, we'll get him next season, guys. Oh, Super Bowl this year. No, I'm sorry. Me and Jay, I love the guy. I'm happy about it. So, Jordan.
Okay, so I want to hear your thoughts on what you believe it'll take for the Cowboys to make it to my goal of the NFC Championship at least. Like, what do you need to see from the offense? What do you need to see from the defense? Who will need to go off this year for us to have that level of success?
Okay, well, the first thing is you cannot have injuries to your tackles. Tyron Smith and La'el Collins need to be out there. And Tyron Smith, the thing that stinks is I don't know that he's physically able to play 16 games anymore.
I don't think so.
And I'm super concerned about the backup depth there at tackle. I don't believe in Cam Irving. I don't think Cameron Irving's a good tackle. I think he's much better. Coming out of Florida State when he was playing center, I thought that was a good spot for him. He just does not look like he's got it at the edge spot. Cam Fleming was not great, but he was serviceable, and I think you downgraded from that. That's why, I've been a big proponent of hopefully Connor McGovern can get his stuff together, show something, and start at left guard. That way, what you could do then is have Connor Williams, who was a pretty good tackle at Texas, go ahead and be the swing guy. I do think – and the Cowboys probably won't do this. They'll probably play, Brandon Knight or whoever it is that they deem is the best backup tackle if something were to happen. But I think the more real – if you want to get your best five on the field, you'll do some shuffling, whether that is take LC over to left tackle, play Connor Williams at right. I mean, it's tough because some of these guys, they might not be getting the reps, so I don't know, how comfortable they would be to slide into that. But first and foremost, you're going to need them to stay healthy. Otherwise, and it's easier said than done, but Dak's going to have to play at an MVP caliber level. To your point, Dak needs to have a good year, and he does. And Dak has shown that every single year he improves and gets better and better and better. But now there's literally no excuses. I mean, when you've got Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, Blake Jarwin, who I know a lot of people are excited about. We've heard the rumors of Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott being in the backfield together at the same time. There's a lot to like about this offense, and there's no excuse in terms of the talent and weapons around you now for Dak Prescott. You got to perform, and Dak's going to have to, play like a top 5 quarterback this year, because I do wonder the consistency of the defense. I think the pass rush will be there, but I do think historically, when you look at a Mike Nolan defense, they give up a lot of yards.
Yeah, they do.
20 to 20, it's not going to be great. The thing is, and they did this fairly well under Rod Marinelli as well, is when you have a team get into the red zone, now you tighten up. Now you force them to kick field goals instead of score touchdowns. This defense has proven they can do that. So if they can just be a middle-of-the-road defense, you expect this offense to be a top 3 unit. I'm not even going top 5, top 3 unit in the NFL. And I think realistically they got a shot. Like I said, I don't think the competition in the NFC East is that great right now with the injuries to Philly. And the NFC is wide open. I think you're going to see a regression from Green Bay. You might see a regression from Seattle, even though, the one caveat into those teams that win a lot of close games and then regress, Russell Wilson throws that out the window.
Yeah.
I would say the same thing about Aaron Rodgers, but Russell Wilson right now is a better player than Aaron Rodgers is. The dude is, if it wasn't for Pat Mahomes, we'd be talking about Russell Wilson, best quarterback in the NFL, bar none. The dude's an absolute savage. So he'll always give you a chance, but they're breaking in a new offensive line as well. So those teams, maybe you see some regression. I'm very hesitant to claim Kyle Shanahan as this next Wonder Boy guru, right? Like, is he a great guy? Is he a great coach? Sure. I got to see it again. It took 15 wins last year for him to now be 500 as an NFL head coach, right? We've seen this where you have a good year, the NFL goes and does their homework, and now it's a little bit more you struggle a little more, Sean McVay. So come on, Kyle. Now's a big year for you.
I feel Kyle's a little different because I think he's been running the same shit like everywhere he goes, and the offense will typically be the same. So the NFL hasn't caught him enough to get there. But I just don't think like Sean McVay was like cradling Jared Goff. So I feel that a little bit.
He was. Oh, he was. Yeah.
But
no doubt. And look, San Francisco, they're built to win. I mean, with their move for Trent Williams, they're a better team now. They've had injuries as well with the receivers, but that's a run team, right? What Kyle Shanahan does, learning it from his father, Mike, in Denver. You guys know they were churning out 1,000-yard rushers.
Anybody.
Mike Henderson, Tim Griffith, Tatum Bell. It doesn't matter who they put back there. It's just go ahead, run for 1,000 yards. So that running scheme, you're 100% right. It works. It's proven to work year in and year out. So they'll be able to run the football, play good defense, but that's a tough division. I don't think the Rams are going to stink this year. I think they'll be about a 500 team push for a wild card berth. The Cardinals should be a lot better. So, the NFC is pretty wide open. Clearly the Saints are probably the most complete team, in my opinion, but there's questions regarding Drew Brees and is his arm going to fall off once Thanksgiving hits? That's something we talked about last year, him missing those 5 games, them still being able to go 5-0 with Teddy. That could have been a blessing. And then they get knocked out in the first round by the Vikings. So, there's questions in the NFC. So I don't think it's too far-fetched. If the Cowboys and Dak play at the level that we expect him to, this team very well, health provided, can make some noise and make a run to the conference title game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree. And I'm very hopeful. I think Dak's going to have a great year. I do think that I look at the circumstance, and I think that played a lot to do with his 17 and 18 regressions, because when he had the weapons that he needed to be successful, he did very well. And he's only 5 years into the league. And I try and remind people that guys don't just come into the league taking the league by storm at quarterback. It takes them some years to get comfortable and familiar. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, they are outliers to the whole quarterback development. So I'm very hopeful for the Cowboys this year. I think that we really do have a legitimate shot now with a legitimate coach at the helm. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. But thank you so much for coming on. It has been great talking some sports with you. CJ's going to close us out.
Well, I'm closing us out. Oh, I see. I thought we were still talking sports. We have 5 fucking minutes. Why are you cutting people short? What the fuck is this?
Okay. So,
like, just kicking Zach off the show. I'm sorry, Zach. I didn't feel like.
So the other day, when Kevin was on, I had like a couple more minutes, and so I started talking about some stuff, and so we went to right to like 59, and he was like, "Hey, you didn't leave any time to say goodbye."
Yeah, you're supposed to throw my questions to me. You're supposed to set me up. Like I'm supposed to dunk it. I'm wearing the Bron jersey. You're supposed to be D-Wade.
Come on,
you fucked it up. Okay, God damn it! All right. We got some quick questions for you. We just try to figure out a little bit more, just get some non-sports stuff out of you. All right. So we're going to ask you a couple questions. All right.
Ooh, hot seat. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. What's the last movie that made you cry?
Marley and Me.
Damn, that was such a good movie. I didn't cry in it, but it was such a.
Oh, man. Like all the dogs that I've lost throughout my life. It was terrible.
Oh, man. So you haven't had a dog. I can't imagine. That's why I don't want to bury an animal ever. I lost fish before, but not dogs. Yeah. If you could go to any event, best seats in the house, in the world, if we're no Corona, what would that event be?
I think the World Cup.
World Cup?
Yeah, I think the World Cup would be amazing.
So I would like the World Cup too. Now, do you strictly pull for U.S. in the World Cup?
I do for the most part. If it's not the U.S., I'm pulling for England and South Africa.
Okay.
I mean, I was like, where's black people? I'm there. If they got one black dude, I was France last year.
From South Africa, so obviously, and I got to go, last March, and I drove by the stadiums they hosted the World Cup in, and it's literally, dude, like 10 minutes away from Soweto, which is crazy. And Soweto is where Nelson Mandela is from, so I got to see like Nelson Mandela's house and everything, and Desmond Tutu, 2 Nobel Prize winners.
Yeah, you rode right past her house.
Absolutely. In Soweto, so it's just bizarre. You've got this beautiful stadium, and then literally 10 minutes away down the road, you've got people living in shacks with no running water, no plumbing. It's again, I mean, it's a pretty sobering experience. It makes you realize how lucky we are as Americans to have some of the stuff we have.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. All right, last 2 questions. All right, here we go. What do you put on your hot dogs?
Oh, this is a good one, boys. Mm-hmm. All right, so I am not an anti-ketchup on hot dog person, but I am also mustard. So I'll rock mustard, ketchup, relish, onions. Prefer grilled onions, but I'll nice onion as well.
Jordan, what do you like in your hot dog? I mean, we're brothers, and I don't remember eating hot dogs.
I do. Okay, so I'm really big on chili dogs. So I love doing the chili and the cheese. But like if it's just like a regular hot dog, then I'm doing hot dogs with ketchup, mustard, relish. I got to do the whole works.
Yeah, right away.
Yeah.
Mayonnaise, relish, onions.
Okay, the mayonnaise thing I need to I need to give it a try.
Yeah, no, mayonnaise is a good flavor. It's a good flavor. Yeah, Last thing, In-N-Out or Whataburger. There's only one good answer.
Oh, Whataburger.
All right, damn right. Just making sure that's it. All right, guys, now we're done. All right, Jordan, to kick us out of the show. Hey, Zach, go ahead and plug your shows. Let us know where people can hear you at.
Yeah, you can follow me at Zach Wolchuck on the Twitters. And then we are on the Nosebleed Seats here on 105.3 The Fan, 7 to 11, Monday through Friday, when there's not a Texas Rangers game. If there is a Rangers game, you might be able to catch us for 30 minutes for a Nosebleed Seats Quickie right before from 7 to 7:30. Maybe afterwards, but probably not going to happen. So, 7 to 11 outside of Rangers season on 105.3 The Fan.
Guys, tune in to Zach. We love to have him on the show. Thank you so much for coming by. Thank you to Only Music for doing our intro music. Thank you for Aaron Bird for making us sound awesome. Aaron, I'm sorry for all the F-bombs today, but, we love you. All right, guys, until next time, we're signing off. All right. Jordan, do this.